All right, guys, what's going on? Phil Daru back again with another video. I'm going to continue on my conditioning portion of endurance training for MMA. Today, I want to talk about aerobic power. So aerobic power, by all intents and purposes, aerobic meaning with oxygen. We want to increase power production while still being under that anaerobic threshold. So the way we're going to do that is to make sure that we're staying in our parameters of aerobic capacity, but it's going to be 100% of your maximal aerobic speed. The way we're going to do this, facing off the focus points, the main thing is that we want to encourage on doing is increasing that VO2 max, right? VO2 max is basically your body's maximal oxygen uptake, right? So how much oxygen we can actually put into our bodies, okay? Maintaining a sub-maximal effort of intensity through time, right? Sub-maximal meaning under 90%, okay? But that doesn't mean that we're gonna be very slow, very low intensity. It's just gonna be sub-max. So about 80 to 85% is where we wanna be at. Okay, we wanna improve the ability to recover your heart rate. When you're talking about a fight, primarily when I'm looking at endurance qualities, when I look at my fighters, I wanna make sure that their heart rate is drastically gone down between each round, because I know that they'll be able to get back off that stool and do work when the time comes. Okay, we also want to decrease your resting heart rate. This is going to help with better overall fitness. The lower your heart rate is, there's a lot of great long distance runners with high VO2 maxes with very, very low resting heart rates. Now, what that means is that your body is in the highest state of fitness and overall work capacity and aerobic ability. So we want to make sure that we're bringing down our resting heart rate so that we can make sure that we have that increased ability for fitness. Okay. Let's get into the exercise. Okay, so for the tool that we're gonna utilize is going to be an Aerobic bike. Now you could do this with a row machine, you could do it with a Versa Climber, you could do it with the treadmill. We're gonna use the Aerobic bike, so we wanna make sure that our power in watts for males is greater to or equal to 300, and then for females is going to be greater than or equal to 150. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so first get on the bike. You wanna make sure that you just start pedaling. All right, you're gonna do this for about a minute. Also make sure you're doing a standard dynamic warm-up. I have plenty of videos on that, you can go check them out. But right now I'm just gonna get on the bike. I'm gonna go ahead and pedal for about a minute. All right, once that minute is up, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna make sure those watts are right where we need to be. And we're gonna sustain that for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get a passive recovery. So we're not gonna do anything, we're just gonna breathe and bring our heart rate down. All right, here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, as you can see, I didn't lean back pick my chest up, put my hands over my head. There's a reason for that. The reason why I crouch down and I got my arms folded and I'm actually breathing diaphragmatically through my rib cage, right? I'm increasing intra-abdominal pressure and I'm increasing oxygen up into my heart, into my outer extremities. If I breathe back here, I cut off that circulation. If I put my hands over my head, it stops the breathing pattern of diaphragmatic breathing, end up putting it into my chest, into my upper cavity, which will stop blood flow. So what I wanna do is I wanna make sure that I'm nice and relaxed. My head is in a neutral position. I'm breathing in through my nose, not through my mouth. And I'm blowing it out all the way, trying to get as much oxygen in as I can and blowing out as much carbon dioxide as I can, right? I do this until obviously the time is up, but the main goal is to make sure that that breathing pattern, that breathing technique of diaphragmatic breathing helps with decreasing my heart rate, right? The easier I can bring my body back down to parasympathetic, the better my heart rate's gonna decrease, and then the more capable I'll be able to reproduce energy. All right. Okay, so as you can see, that was the aerobic power protocol. You can use this at least 2 to 3 times per week, especially if you're trying to increase your VO2 max. If you are in a fight camp, make sure that you are placing these aerobic systems in this protocol around your training times and your skills practice. You wanna make sure that you're not throwing the organism in 2 different directions. So I would mainly place this upon maybe on a sparring day, 3 to 4 hours after or before. Primarily you wanna do it before, especially if you're trying to hone in on your skills in camp. And then also you can do it on a high wrestling day where you're working through multiple different drilling patterns and things like that. Again, you kind of want to wait unless you have the energy to do so, which I highly doubt it in a wrestling session, but you want to make sure that you're doing it that day so that you can maintain that same adaptation and you're not throwing the organism again in 2 different directions, giving your body some confusion on what to adapt to. All right guys, thanks so much again for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you hit the comment below. I'll be sure to answer them. Use these protocols if you try to make sure that you understand how to put them in the right places. Also, again, hit the notifications so you know when these videos come out, and please hit subscribe if you do like this video. I'm new on the block, trying to make sure that we're growing this channel, so it'd be good to get as much support as possible. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.